Okay, great morning. I've been asked a question, so let me go ahead and read it. Respected ma'am, could you I think you mean talk, about Dzogchen philosophy and why is it so potent and not for all? Thank you. Well, number one, and the main thing is Dzogchen is the same as non-duality. And as long as you are looking at it as a philosophy, it's not a philosophy, it's a reality of consciousness. Okay? So as long as you are using it as something you're trying to grok, you're trying to understand with the limited mind of Vajra mind, the mind that's in divisionary experience, okay, then it's just another equation that you are trying to adopt. You can't adopt Dzogchen. You can't adopt non-duality. One is either within that consciousness or they are not. Okay, you're either in the consciousness of Vajra, divisionary, okay, and then you're trying to layer on top of the divisionary an ideology of non-dualism. It doesn't work that way. Okay. But this is why the satsang sellers are so attractive to people, because they think they can be in Vajra mind and yet still get non-duality, Advaita, or Dzogchen, no matter which you are. Dzogchen, Advaita, same thing. Okay. So again, you can't use it as a philosophy. Dzogchen or Advaita is not a philosophy that's garnered by people in Vajra mind as a stance. Okay. When everything is blown out, Nirvana has taken place. Nirvana means blown out. What gets blown out? Do you understand what being blown out means? It means that all the divisionary drama is gone at an end. And then one's consciousness transitions into Dzogchen or Advaita. It's a whole different way of being. Your whole being is Dzogchen or Advaita, rather than the mind spin of Dvaita. If you are in mind spin and you're trying to turn Dzogchen into a philosophy, you're not there. It's that simple. Okay. And if you're trying to use it as a philosophy, then it's not potent. Then it's just another hamster wheel of mind spin. I don't care how nice it sounds and you want to try to layer it over divisionary experience and try to say, well, it's not actually divisionary because I have this philosophy now and it's so strong that I can see underneath all of the divisionary experiences that singular is. You can't see it. You can't hold to it as a philosophy and think that you're going to get moksha or liberation. What one needs to be liberated from is that revolving mind. Okay? Vajra mind, revolving mind. It keeps trying to put into place this thing or that thing to make sense of stuff. Okay. True Dzogchen Advaita only comes when the mind is still. There is no thoughts. No thoughts. No philosophy. Okay? If you have a philosophical stance, then you're still in divisionary mind spin. And Dzogchen is not for you. Okay? People hear Advaita or Dzogchen and then they want to just put another spin on Dvaita, on divisionary. No. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. You can only truly understand Dzogchen when one has blown out Nirvana, the divisionary mind spin. Okay? When one has died to that, what remains is natural Dzogchen or Advaita, beyond the divisionary. But one has to go through that death before death first. Everything has to deconstruct. Okay? There was another person today also asking basically on same type of things, these philosophies on, what is it, Archon? They call it Archon. Okay. The only way to get beyond Archon is Gnosticism. Okay. Archon is basically the mind spin. Divisionary experience, same thing, divisionary. I don't care what spin you want to put on it. If you want to understand it, read the Chandipat. I think that's about the clearest text there is, where Kali, first there's Durga, and she's fighting, and they're saying, oh, the demons are taking over the earth. What do we do? What do we do? Oh my God. And so Durga comes out riding the lion, and she's got all these arms, and she's fighting all of these things that are taking over the earth. And what are they? Anger, jealousy, all these emotional dramas. Okay, are we getting it? That's what she's fighting. What is she using to fight? Prayer, stillness, awareness. These are her tools. This is what she is fighting with. Okay? And she's fighting and fighting against anger and all these other dramas that are coming up. And there's one demon, the biggest demon at all, that holds everything into place, and you know what it is? Ego. Ego. This feeling of separation. So Durga has to put all of her things, just really condense everything that she's got, and she becomes Kali. Kali is also Kala, time. Kali is also dark, which means you have to sit there and you have to confront those things of fear. Number one is fear. You have to confront fear to go beyond, to go into that death before death, to blow out ego. The last of the demons is ego. This ideation is so brilliant that it thinks Dzogchen or Advaita is a philosophy. I'm so smart I can understand it all. And all I have to do is understand it and then I can say I'm a liberated being. Okay, no. Okay. So if you understand the story of the Chandi pot, this is the spiritual path. And this is what Kundalini, Kali, is Kundalini, active Kundalini, that once activated confronts all of these things. Kundalini becomes Durga. And at the very end, it becomes Kali, the liberator. Okay? And then, when things are liberated, Kali, this energy, you ever see Kali's statue? She's standing on Shiva. She's standing on Shiva. Then you understand, then you get Dzogchen, then you get Advaita. Okay? Then you understand what is the symbology of this. And it all takes time. Kali is time. That darkness is that void. It's not devoid, but it is what they term the void. Okay. So it's a big journey. There's also a big, huge thing about what Buddha said. He didn't say there was God or there wasn't God. Okay? Because it's a mind bender. For God to exist, there has to be something other than God, and there is not. So at once you can say God is all that exists, or there is no God, because there is nothing separate from. All manifestation stems from that. It is contained within all manifestation, yet it is not touched by any of the happenings of manifestation. Okay, but none of these things are you going to get by a philosophy. By trying to understand Dzogchen with the Advaita mind, the mind of division. Dzogchen and Advaita can only be understood by one that is within that consciousness. It is a state of consciousness, not a philosophical stance of the divisionary world. Okay. So now let me go on to the other one that they were asking about, Archon. Oh, these things are there to prevent you from getting to liberation. Well, all of it is nothing more than the divisionary experience that people cling to with their mind spin. That's it. Any path you go on, you're going to have to face the demons. Okay? And all of these demons, etc., are created out of your fears and your projections. And you have to sit there. They have to come and you have to face them without moving, without giving it attention, without giving it energy for it to be dispelled. Okay. So that's basically the path. I don't care what tradition you go through. Whether it's Christian and you're in a monastery and you're a contemplative and you are doing prayer and you are surrendering. There are many, St. John of the Cross, Teresa of Lisieux, that had Kundalini awakenings. By what you read about what happened with them, all the phenomena that was surrounding them. Okay. They went through that journey. These were the saints. The saints had Kundalini awakenings, or what they called the Holy Spirit, that had fire above the head. Remember the fire above the head? Kundalini awakening. Okay. Oh my goodness. So it doesn't matter which tradition you go through, whether it's Buddhist, whether it's Hindu, whether it's Christian, whether it's the Sufism, okay? It's all the same journey. The only difference is different scenery along the way. That's all. But it's only one God, one truth, one reality in the end. And when you get to that point and everything is disbanded, then you see where all the religious persuasions are trying to point to. Okay. But again, if you're going to try to set these things up, the Archon or Arcus, whatever it's called, Archon, or whether it's Dzogchen, and trying to turn these things into philosophical stances, you have a very long way to go yet. Very, very long way to go. Okay. So I'm going to leave this here. Thank you for your question. Hopefully this hasn't confused you even further. You know, it's like I say, people that think in Hinduism, oh, you're worshiping a statue, you're worshiping, you know, if you understand what the gods and goddesses are, etc., gods, goddesses, they are energetic signatures. They are energies. What is the energy being put towards? Okay. If you understand that each of these are energies, then things become much clearer. Okay. What is the representation of that mindset and that energy? It is set up as a god or goddess for you to more easily understand what it is. The mindset of prosperity, or the mindset of, you know, yes, I know you see somebody out there, oh my goodness, oh, Mr. Raj, oh my goodness, they can walk out there, it's okay. No, they can walk out there. Yes, I know you see them. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't stand it. But I see somebody out there. Oh my God, they're walking and I see them and oh, I don't like it. Mr. Raj, I know you think you're the king. For those that don't know, in his name used to be Raj Kumar, which means the prince. And then one day it was like, I'm not a prince, I'm a king. I'm just the Raj, okay? So he's gone from Raj Kumar to just Raj. He's the king now, okay? You can be king of your castle. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here, you know. The only thing you have to do, you know, you need to do your journey. You need to sit and watch the way the mind works, how mind creates emotion. Emotion sets up chemical reactions in the body form. Then you wrap it around a story and make it something other than what it is. And then you're off on another jaunt, thinking that you are this limited being that's going to be born, it's going to die, and then, so because it's going to die, this form is going to pass away. You're trying to do everything you can to control the narrative, control your world. You know, nobody gets out of this cycle of birth and death. Nobody gets out of it. Okay? Accept it. You have I've met ones in India that are trying to preserve the life for the next 300 years. Why? Why do you want to try to preserve this body, limitational body, which is just here for experiencing this plane? Okay? The truth is the spirit is onward, goes onward. The consciousness goes onward. Okay? That's the way it is. It's like an old car. You're going to try to keep an old car forever? Or when it wears out, do you exchange it for a new car? That's the body form. It's like a car. It's your vehicle. It's a vehicle and a mode of experience. Okay? And it's like the brain is how do I want to say it? It's a point between consciousness and the physical form. It's a median point. Consciousness programs the brain. The brain does not program consciousness. They've got it backwards. Consciousness programs the brain. The brain programs the body. Okay? And the body is your sensory. 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 It's the sensory. Oh my God. That's how you deal with the five senses. That is the body. The body sets up so you can experience with the five limited senses in this world. But consciousness is beyond the five senses. Five senses are limited to the body form. Tasting, seeing, hearing, all of these senses. Okay? And the brain is like the computer that programs the body. This is why you can rewire the brain. You can rewire it. Why it's so important if somebody has a stroke that they start working to rewire the brain to reprogram the body. Okay? But you are not this body. Consciousness is using this form as a mode of experience in this land. There are many other lands, many other realms where this body would not be appropriate for the other realms. Okay? That's why in this realm, you need to stay grounded, because this is a place of grounded experience. You need to be grounded in order to experience things fully in this plane of existence. Okay? Oh, my goodness, people. And the only way one gets to the journey is not by adopting some philosophical stance, which is somebody else's direct experience. I can talk all day about Dzogchen or Advaita. What is the direct experience, the living reality of that? What is the living reality here? But it does nothing to aid you, because you are in Advaita mind, the divisionary experience. Therefore, as a teacher, I have to speak with you in the plane of divisionary experience and give you practices which will pull you along so that you can transition from the divisionary of Advaita to Dzogchen or Advaita consciousness. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. Don't forget, Dzogchen, Advaita is a state of consciousness when the divisionary realm has been blown out and the illusion of it is known. Not the illusion of it is tried to make into a philosophical stance. Say, well, I see that. Okay, I get that. No, it's not a logical adoption. It's a direct reality. Okay? Not something that you're trying to adopt. Okay? You can't adopt Dzogchen or Advaita mind. Okay? If you're doing that, then you're playing a part. Just like an actor is not actually, I don't care how good they are, they're not actually Marie Antoinette if they're playing that part, nor are they actually a serial killer if they are playing that part. They are playing a part. They are not in that direct consciousness of what Marie Antoinette was or a serial killer is. They are not actually in that mindset. They are equating it. They are trying to adopt it. They are trying to project that from their understanding. In other words, they're making a philosophical stance out of it. They're projecting their idea of that philosophy. Okay, what it is to be, but they're not that living reality. Okay, get the difference? One's playing a part. If you have a philosophical stance, you're playing a part. So this has gone on longer than I wanted today, but I'll leave this here. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Thank you for your question. And please, do the journey. Don't try to, find a loophole and think, oh, if I understand Dzogchen or if I understand Advaita, if I can logically get it, then I'm already there. You're not there. Okay. Yeah. So have a good day. Have a great journey. You gotta do the whole of the journey, because in the end, you see the great joke. Okay, there's a great joke at the end. And only those that do the whole of the journey get the joke. It's a great universal joke at the end, though. I'll just leave it at that. And that's why one goes from being in divisionary mind spin and all of this to going to transitioning from that to the play of God, what's called the play of God. Once you get the joke, then you enter the play. Okay. That's why those of us that do the whole of the journey can sit and laugh, and be in the moment and are fine where we're at. We are fine alone. We're fine, we don't have to have others to cling to or something to be this way or that way. We are free within ourselves. We are free of all the drama. We are free of it. Okay. So I'll leave this here. Have a great day.